"Don't decode it," the voice said. And it was my own voice, on a channel that shouldn't exist. I froze at the comms deck of the Meridian Relay, 3 billion kilometers from anyone, listening to myself speak words I had never spoken. The timestamp beneath the waveform glowed steady and impossible. It was dated 14 months from now. It had started as nothing. A routine intercept, one more ghost in the noise. Out here we catch stray transmissions the way a net catches drifting weed, old telemetry, dead beacons, the hiss of stars. I logged them and moved on. But this one refused to resolve into noise. It kept trying to become a word. So I ran it through the analyzer, expecting some warped survey drone. The identity match came back in green, 99.6%. Then the private phrase, a stupid thing I whisper before every hard burn, 6 words no other living person has ever heard me say. I said them under my breath. The recording said them back. I told myself, forgery. Someone had scraped my logs, cloned my throat, planted a prank across a decade of empty sky. But no signal travels faster than light, and no relay between here and home carries a stamp from a year that hasn't happened. To fake this, someone would have to break physics. And physics out here is the only thing you trust. I traced the origin. The bearing pointed at nothing. A patch of dark between 2 dead systems. No ship, no station, no colony. Just the faint gravitational shimmer we'd flagged months ago and never explained. A wrinkle in the sky. The kind of place, the theorists say, where a tunnel might open if the universe ever allowed a door. There are ways it could be real. That was the part that scared me. In the strange solutions of relativity, space-time can curve back on itself. A wormhole with one mouth dragged forward in time. A path that lets a whisper from next year fall into this one. Not magic, geometry. And geometry does not lie to you. Does. But why would I warn myself? I played it again and again, hunting for the person underneath the words. My voice was ragged, not scared exactly, exhausted. Like someone who had already lost the argument and was making one last try anyway. Don't decode it, it said. Not the message, the main payload buried beneath. Don't decode it, because there was more. Under the warning sat a dense block of data wrapped in error correction, locked behind my own encryption key. Whatever future me wanted to say, they'd sealed it so only I could open it, then beg me not to. A gift and a trap in the same breath. The paradox of it made my hands cold. I sat with the wrongness of it. If I only know what future me knows because they told me, then where did the knowledge first come from? It has no beginning. It exists because I receive it, and I receive it because it exists. A loop with no first cause. The physicists have a name for that. They call it a paradox, and then they go quiet. The relay's log told me something else. This wasn't the first attempt. The signal had been arriving for 71 hours, every 90 minutes, patient as a tide. My earlier shifts had filed it as noise. Only now had it sharpened into a voice, as if it were being aimed, as if something on the far end was learning to reach me, and I wanted to open it. God, help me, I wanted to. I'd spent 4 years alone in this can, watching the numbers, mattering to no one. Here was proof I survived to next year. Proof I do something so important my future self crosses time to stop me. To ignore that felt like dying twice. Curiosity is the loneliest hunger there is, but the warning had teeth. If backward messages are possible at all, the theory says the universe permits only loops that don't contradict themselves. No paradox is allowed, which means every move I make is already part of what happened. If I decode it because I was always going to. The warning doesn't free me. It tells me the cage is already shut. Then the ship made a sound it shouldn't. A long structural groan from the aft hull where nothing was scheduled to move. I checked the cameras, empty corridors. But the gravitational shimmer on my scope had grown. Closer now, brighter. No longer a wrinkle, but a wound in the dark, and it was drifting toward the relay. Toward me. A thought arrived, cold and certain. What if the warning isn't the message's purpose? It's the bait? A voice saying don't to a creature built of curiosity is the surest way to make them do. What better lock than one that dares you to break it? I pulled my hand back from the console like it had burned me. So I did the only thing left. I opened a channel to the shimmer, and I transmitted, my own voice now, steady as I could make it. Whoever you are, whenever you are, I hear you. I won't decode it. I sent it into the wound in the sky and waited, heart slamming, for the universe to answer a message with a message. The reply came in 9 seconds, impossibly fast for that distance, unless distance had stopped meaning anything. It was me again, but calmer, relieved. Good, the voice said. You're on the right side of it now. Listen carefully. In a moment, you're going to want to explain. Don't. Just do exactly what I did. And I realized with a lurch that I was no longer the one being warned. It unfolded then, all at once, the way a locked door swings when you stop pushing. There was no far future stranger. There was only this, a loop of me, each turn passing the warning back one step, keeping the payload sealed forever. I wasn't receiving the message. I was becoming the next voice to send it. The role was always mine, and I understood the payload at last without opening it. It didn't matter what was inside. Whatever it was, someone once decoded it, and something happened so ruinous that they spent the rest of the loop reaching backward, whispering to every earlier self, don't. The seal wasn't hiding an answer. It was holding a door shut against everyone I would ever be. The wound in the sky began to close, slowly, like something satisfied. The groaning in the hull stopped. The shimmer thinned back to a wrinkle, then to nothing, and the stars behind it steadied as if a held breath had finally been let go. I had done my part. The loop stayed consistent. Nothing contradicted itself. The universe balanced its books, but it wasn't over, and it would never be. 90 minutes later, the signal returned, right on schedule. The same patient tide. Because now there was an earlier Mai somewhere down the line who hadn't heard the warning yet, and I was the one who had to record it. I keyed the mic. My hands were steady. I knew exactly what to say. Don't decode it, I said, into the dark, to myself. And I heard how ragged my own voice had become, exhausted, making one last try. The same weariness I'd heard at the start. I finally knew why. It's tiring, that carrying a door for everyone you used to be. It's tiring, being the only one who remembers what's on the other side. So maybe the deepest signals in the universe don't come from distant worlds at all. Maybe the strangest voice in the cosmos is the one already inside your own throat, arriving from a little further down the line. If reality permits even one whisper to reach backward, then cause and effect are thinner than we ever dared believe. A fragile thread, and something is always tugging the far end. I never opened the file. I want you to believe that. But sometimes, in the long quiet of a shift, I feel the key already loaded, and I wonder if refusing was ever really a choice. Or just the shape the loop needed me to take. So here is the only question that matters, and I leave it with you. If your own voice reached you from next year, out of the dark, and told you don't, would you listen? Or would you already, always have decided to decode it?